Hi, today I'm planting sweet potatoes, thinning peaches, planting corn, and lastly making simply good chili. I like to grow my own sweet potato plants. This is a sweet potato from last year's garden that has grown long sprouts. I can take these sprouts off, place them in water, and then they will grow roots and eventually leaves on the top, and this will be a plant that I can use this year to grow more sweet potatoes. I have had these potatoes sitting in a window in the house, and they've grown some very nice sprouts. Some that were not in the water have not developed good roots, so I will put them in water and wait for them to grow some nice roots. You can see that one was in the water and it has grown some roots. So I'll put it with the ones that are ready to plant. And this one was in the water and has grown lots of roots. So I have gotten 5 sweet potato plants from this one piece of sweet potato. So we'll see how many I get from this one. One, 2, 3, and 4. This soil has a clay base and it's very wet, but even so, it's still very crumbly because of all the organic matter in it, and it has earthworms. A lot of earthworms. We are harvesting asparagus now. Strawberries are ripening, and the potatoes have grown a lot. The sun's trying to come out and it's getting a little warmer, and you can see that I need to trim the garden paths again. But when I do, all this growth will become organic matter to feed the soil life. I have about 30 corn plants here that I am also planting this morning. You can also see that this soil is very moist and it has a clay base, but it's also very crumbly and has a lot of nice earthworms in it. And I'll just loosen the roots a little bit so they won't have problems getting into the soil. And I will make a double row through here. I'm a little later this year than usual with corn. We're in the first week of May, and I usually plant corn in the garden in April. That is corn plants. But this year I purchased some potting soil that when I tried to grow plants in it, it grew mold all over it. So that set me back several weeks. But it'll work out anyway. I much prefer planting corn plants rather than seed, because if I put a plant in the ground, it has a head start on the weeds, and I don't have to wonder if it's going to germinate. So I just do better with plants. In this part of my corn bed, I have some nice potato plants that came up from potatoes that I missed getting out of the ground last year. So I will let them grow and just plant corn around them. Blueberries are still coming along well. Grapevines are starting to bud. Apple trees have already bloomed. Lots of comfrey blooms out here to draw pollinators. Now the peach trees. I am not an expert on peach trees, but I try. And I have thinned quite a bit on this branch. And this one already. And this one, but you can see here that I have not. I have about half of this tree that I need to work on, plus 2 other trees. There and there. I take off these smallest peaches. And also, if some are growing too close together, or if there are too many on a limb, in my opinion, then I take some of those off. Three growing together here, and I don't think there needs to be three. So I'm going to take two of those away. And this is small, and this is small. This one, this doesn't look good. And this is small, and this is small. And these are very small. So that is how I go about it. And if any of you have more experience and have some advice, I would be glad to hear it. I found that branch interesting as it is growing straight up. And if I had pruned as usual, I would have cut that one off, because I think I have read that you should not have branches going straight up. But that one has so many good-sized peaches on it. I'm going to thin it and then see what happens to it this year. Okay, my neck is tired, and I still have not quite finished one whole peach tree, but I'm going to quit for this morning. And there's what I have taken out today. In another day, I took out almost a bucket full of peaches from this tree, and you can still see there are lots of peaches still on it. Hi, I'm in the kitchen. Let's make some delicious chili. I have placed a large stainless steel skillet over medium heat. Next, I'm adding about 3 tablespoons of olive oil. That is organic extra virgin olive oil. And now I will cut up a large onion into small pieces and add to the skillet. Okay, the onions need to saute until they are lightly brown to enhance the flavor. Next, I'm adding 1 pound of grass-fed ground beef and 1 pound of pasture-raised organic hot sausage. I am chopping it into small pieces as it continues to cook. While the meat continues to cook, I'm chopping sweet peppers I took from our freezer that came from our garden last summer. I also took this garlic from our freezer, and it too came from our garden last year. Now I will add the peppers and garlic to the meat mix as it continues to cook, and also 2 heaping tablespoons of chili powder. Then stir until well blended. Next, I'm adding 1 cup of tomato sauce. I canned last summer using tomatoes from our garden. and again stir until well blended. Now I will let this simmer about 15 minutes until the peppers are tender, and then I will have a hearty, delicious chili. In this dish I have served the chili with spinach, rice, and tomato relish. It is also great with beans, a hot dog, or as a side dish. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.